हो, तुम्ही सुरुवात करा मग.
Okay. Good afternoon and warm welcome to today's guest of honor.
We are live, we can start.
Okay.
We are live, we can start.
हाँ, आता सुरू करा मॅडम.
Okay. Good afternoon and warm welcome to today's guest of honor, Honorable Dr. Sanjeev Patankar sir, former principal of Shiv Prasad Sadananda Jaiswal College, Gondia, an eminent scholar in the field of microbiology. Honorable Dr. Mrunalini Fadnavis ma'am, Vice Chancellor of Punyashlok Ahilyadevi Holkar, Solapur University, Solapur, and Chairperson of today's program. Honorable Dr. Debendranath Mishra sir, Pro Vice Chancellor of the University. Honorable Dr. Vikas Gutle sir, Registrar of the University. Dr. Vikas Patil sir, Director of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of the University. Dr. Abhijit Jagtap sir, Director of School of Allied Health Science, Director of various schools, Head of the departments, faculty members, and the non-teaching staff who are present here to know about the nutritional immunology. Today we all are fighting against an invisible virus which has locked us behind the doors, screens, masks, and puffs of sanitizers. To protect from it, we have to make our immune system strong. But what we have to do actually for that, and how we can make it strong. To make us aware about that, Punyashlok Ahilyadevi Holkar, Solapur University School of Allied Health Science and Internal Quality Assurance Cell invited Dr. Sanjeev Patankar sir to deliver lecture on nutritional immunology and its possible role in COVID-19 like infections. To introduce him, I would like to request Dr. Abhijit Jagtap sir.
नमस्कार. पुण्यश्लोक अहिल्यादेवी होळकर सोलापूर विद्यापीठाच्या आदरणीय कुलगुरू डॉक्टर मृणालिनी फडणवीस मॅडम, प्रकुलगुरू आदरणीय डॉक्टर देवेंद्रनाथ मिश्रा सर, आरोग्य विज्ञान संकुलाचे प्रभारी संचालक तथा प्रकुलसचिव डॉक्टर गुटे सर, संचालक IQSC डॉक्टर विकास पाटील सर, अधिष्ठाता कदम सर, वित्त व लेखाधिकारी श्रेणिक शाह सर, माझे सहकारी डॉक्टर राऊत सर, गार्डी सर, लेंडवे मॅडम, विद्यापीठातील सर्व संकुलांचे संचालक, प्राध्यापक, सर्व विद्यार्थी, युट्यूबच्या माध्यमातून सहभागी झालेले सर्व महाविद्यालयांचे विद्यार्थी, शिक्षक आणि शिक्षकेतर कर्मचारी, बंधू भगिनींनो. आरोग्य विज्ञान संकुल व अंतर्गत गुणवत्ता हमी कक्ष पुण्यश्लोक अहिल्यादेवी होळकर सोलापूर विद्यापीठ यांच्या संयुक्त विद्यमाने आयोजित आजच्या या विशेष व्याख्यानामध्ये मी डॉक्टर अभिजित जगताप आपल्या सगळ्यांचे विद्यापीठाच्या वतीने सहर्ष स्वागत करतो. मित्रांनो, गेली 1.5 वर्षाहून साधारण झाली ती आपण एका अतिशय न भूतो न भविष्यती अशा या संकटाशी झगडत आहोत, ते म्हणजे कोविड-19. आणि हे अशा आपल्या या पिढीसाठी हे एक पहिलंच संकट आहे, कारण या इतक्या गंभीर लेवलचं संकट यापूर्वी आपण कधीच अनुभवलं नव्हतं, पाहिलं नव्हतं. आणि रोज ह्याच्याबद्दल नवीन नवीन माहिती येते आणि सध्या याच्यामध्ये चिंतेची एक भर अशी पडली की डेल्टा व्हेरियंट जो सगळीकडे पसरतो आहे, वेगाने पसरतो आहे. असं म्हटलं जाते की जो कांजण्यासारखा आजार आहे त्याच्या एवढीच याची पसरण्याची क्षमता आहे. आणि अशा अनेक व्हेरियंट नवीन नवीन येण्याची शक्यता देखील नाकारता येत नाही. आणि ह्या व्हेरियंट्स बद्दल आणि एकंदरीतच विषाणूंबद्दल बरेचशा लोकांमध्ये शंका, कुशंका आणि त्याच्याबद्दलची एक भीती लोकांच्या मनात आहे. तर नेमकं हे सगळ्या गोष्टी काय आहेत आणि ह्या व्हेरियंटचा, या विषाणूंचा आपल्या जीवनावरती काय परिणाम होणार आहे आणि आपण आपल्या नैसर्गिक प्रतिकार शक्तीच्या बळावर कोविडच नाही तर तत्सम जे ज्ञात अज्ञात विषाणू आहेत त्यांच्यावरती आपण मात करू शकू का, या साऱ्या प्रश्नांची उत्तरं शोधण्यासाठी आजच्या या विशेष व्याख्यानाचे आपण आयोजन केलेले आहे. आणि आजच्या या व्याख्यानाकरता आपल्याला जे तज्ञ मार्गदर्शन म्हणून लाभलेले आहेत डॉक्टर संजीव पाटणकर यांचा परिचय करून देण्याची जबाबदारी माझ्यावर दिलेली आहे. सरांचा बायोडेटा मी बघितला तर तो अतिशय मोठा आहे. एवढा सगळा बायोडेटातनं मी थोडासा त्यांचा सार काढलाय, कारण आपला ऑनलाईन प्रोग्राम असल्यामुळे वेळेचं लिमिटेशन्स आहे. तर डॉक्टर संजीव पाटणकर यांनी नागपूर विद्यापीठातून MSc आणि PhD ही मायक्रोबायोलॉजी या विषयातून पूर्ण केलेली आहे. त्यांचा एकूण 33 वर्षाचा अध्यापनाचा अनुभव असून त्यातील 28 वर्षे ते गुरु नानक कॉलेज ऑफ सायन्स बल्लारपूर, जिल्हा चंद्रपूर येथे व्याख्याता, सहाय्यक प्राध्यापक, सहयोगी प्राध्यापक आणि प्रोफेसर अशा विविध पदांवर त्यांनी काम पाहिलेलं आहे. त्यानंतर 2014 ते 19 या 5 वर्षाच्या काळात ते शिवप्रसाद सदानंद जयस्वाल महाविद्यालय, अर्जुनी मोरगाव, जिल्हा गोंदिया येथे त्यांनी महाविद्यालयाचे प्राचार्य म्हणून काम करत होते. UGC DSTचे 2 मेजर व 2 मायनर रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट त्यांच्या नावावरती आहेत. आजवरती राष्ट्रीय आंतरराष्ट्रीय पातळीवर जर्नल्स मधून त्यांचे 20 पेपर्स प्रकाशित झालेले आहेत आणि जर्मनी येथील लॅम्बर्ट पब्लिकेशन कडून त्यांची 2 पुस्तके देखील प्रकाशित झालेली आहेत. नॅशनल इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन हैदराबाद आणि सेंट्रल इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ मेडिकल सायन्सेस नागपूर यांच्या सहकार्याने त्यांनी विविध संशोधन पूर्ण केलेलं आहे. जीवाणू संशोधन हा त्यांचा विशेष आवडीचा विषय असून स्युडोमोनाज एरोजिनोजा, बॅसिलस फॉर्म्युलस आणि मिसेंटरॉइड्स, मिसेंटरॉइड्स या जीवाणूंबाबत त्यांनी नाविन्यपूर्ण संशोधन केलेलं आहे. विशेषतः सांगण्याचं विशेष बाब म्हणजे हे संशोधन करण्यासाठी त्यांनी इंडस्ट्रियल लिंकेज देखील प्रस्थापित केलेले आहेत. डॉक्टर पाटणकर यांनी विदर्भ विकास महामंडळ, नागपूर विद्यापीठ अभ्यास मंडळ, गोंडवाना विद्यापीठ अभ्यास मंडळ अशा विविध प्राधिकरणांवर सदस्य म्हणून काम पाहिले आहे. मायक्रोबायोलॉजी सोसायटी ऑफ इंडियाच्या महाराष्ट्र राज्य शाखेचे ते अध्यक्ष आहेत. गेली 19 वर्ष NCC ऑफिसर म्हणून कार्यरत असताना ते मेजर रँक पर्यंत पोहोचलेले आहेत. बल्लारपूर वुड सिटी चेंबर ऑफ कॉमर्सचे चॅप्टर प्रेसिडेंट म्हणून त्यांनी काम पाहिलेलं आहे. असे हे बहुआयामी व्यक्तिमत्व आज आपल्याला वक्ते म्हणून लाभलेले आहेत आणि मला विश्वास आहे की आजच्या त्यांच्या या व्याख्यानामधून आपल्याला विविध गोष्टी या विषाणूबद्दलच्या आणि एकंदरीतच आपल्या नैसर्गिक प्रतिकार शक्ती, आपल्या पोषणातून प्रतिकार शक्ती कशी तयार होते, कसा त्याचा आपला आपण उपयोग करून पुढे जाऊ शकतो या सारांबद्दल आपल्याला त्या शास्त्रीय पद्धतीने माहिती देणार आहेत. तर आजच्या या प्रमुख वक्त्यांचा अल्पसा परिचय मी इथेच थांबतो आणि पुढील सूत्रे लिंडे मॅडमच्या.
Thank you, sir, for introducing today's guest. It's our great privilege that such an eminent scholar in the microbiology is present here to guide us how to behave or how to work into this pandemic situation. So I would like to request today's guest of honor, Dr. Sanjeev Patankar sir, to guide us.
Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, good evening to all of you. सगळ्यांना माझा नमस्कार. आजच्या या कार्यक्रमाच्या अध्यक्षा आणि व्हाईस चान्सलर सोलापूर युनिव्हर्सिटी, पुण्यश्लोक अहिल्याबाई होळकर युनिव्हर्सिटी याच्या व्हाईस चान्सलर डॉक्टर मृणालिनी फडणीस मॅडम, कार्यक्रमाचे संयोजक डॉक्टर अभिजित जगताप, डॉक्टर देवेंद्रनाथ मिश्रा प्रो व्हाईस चान्सलर आणि इतर सर्व मान्यवर. या कार्यक्रमामध्ये मला आपण बोलवलं आणि इन्व्हाइट केलं त्याबद्दल मी आपला फार आभारी आहे. त्याचबरोबर माझी जी आपण इंट्रोडक्शन करून दिली फार छान शब्दांमध्ये, त्याबद्दल सुद्धा मी आपला आभारी आहे अभिजित जगताप सरांचा. आणि विशेष वेळ न वाया घालवता मी माझं जे माहिती जी आहे, माझं जे लेक्चर आहे ते मी सुरू करतोय. आणि होऊ शकतं आपल्याला मध्ये जर आपल्याला काही असं वाटलं की खूप जास्त टेक्निकल हे होऊन राहिलंय किंवा काही आहे, तर मी मध्ये थोडासा मराठीमध्ये सुद्धा बोलेन, ऍज इट इज रिक्वेस्टेड बाय ऑर्गनायझर्स अँड मॅडम ऑल्सो, बट it may be possible in doing so. The time may be extended, so be with me. So I would like to start my lecture, and I want to present it. So is it visible, the slides?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the today's topic, it is the nutritional immunology and its possible role in COVID-19 like infections. This topic, it is slightly a different type because all the people they are talking regarding regarding the different type of the measures which are to be taken in order to combat with COVID-19 as such. And in that various things they are given. The very first, it is what is the COVID appropriate behavior, and then after that we come across the vaccination, and then the certain other type of the treatments, some drugs they are also introduced, and like that. But this particular topic I am dealing here, it is the nutritional immunology. So as the name indicates here, it consists of what? It consists of the two parts, or it has got a relation with the two aspects of major aspects of our life. That is, one is the nutrition and other is what? other is the immunology. So as you know, the nutrition, it is what nutrition, it is according to the books, according to the definition, it is what, it is nothing but it is the science that interprets the nutrients and other substances in food in relation to the maintenance and growth, reproduction, health, and the disease of an individual. So nutrition, it is what, it is the science that gives the interpretation of what, interpretation of the nutrients and the components of the food which we take in relation as such to what, the maintenance, growth, and then the health and the disease of an individual. So this is what, this is the definition. And in general, nutrition, it is what, it is nothing but it is the nourishment element that is used for nurturing our body and to keep it healthy as such. And apart from that, it serves another type of function, that is what, it is the development of resistance against the infection, which we call as the immunity. So the nutrition, in a short way, this is what, in a short history, the nutrition, it was founded by the Lavoisier, the father of chemistry, in the 18th century. And the nutrition, it is what, it is the youngest of all the sciences as such. So here, what is the relation between nutrition and health? So here the health as such, again, health, it is what, it is nothing but it is the state of complete physical, mental, social well-being. Now this is very important. It is the complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not only that, or not merely that you are free from any type of the disease, means what, you are healthy. So here all the aspects, the well aspects or the well-being aspects from all type of you, right from mental well-being up to the social well-being, when it is there, then you call the person is healthy. So that is what, that is the health. And in that, how the nutrition helps, the nutrition, it is what, it is very much important from at different levels, right from your expression, that is what, the genetic expression. For the genetic expression, for the potential of for the genetic potential expression also, the proper type of nutrition is required. Then the maintenance of integrity and the function of other type of the body tissues, and for their active participation and the productivity, it is needed. Mental well-being. And apart from that, when during the aging process, when during the aging process, we have to withstand with what, we have to withstand with the disabilities as such and the functional impairment. So what you eat in your younger stage, accordingly you will behave in what, or accordingly you withstand in what, in the inevitable process of aging, as such, which we will face in the old age. And then finally, it is what, the very important function, it is the ability to combat the diseases such as resisting the infections, that is what, the immunocompetence we call, preventing the onset of degenerative diseases, resisting the effect of different type of environmental pollutants and the toxins. So for all this defense mechanism, the immunity plays important role, and for that immunity, the nutrition is what, it is very important. Now the immune system, in a short way, that all of you know might be knowing, that the immune system, it is nothing but it is what, it is a system of biological structures and processes within a person that protects against the disease. So immune system, it is what, it is composed of what, the biological structures, that is the organs, and then the processes as such, which will provide a defense mechanism against the disease. Now in order to function properly, immune system must detect wide variety of what, the bacteria, viruses, parasite, worms, etc. And it must have the ability to distinguish them from the host body tissue. Now immunity deals with what, the functioning of the immune system and how it protects the body from harmful external influences as such. So that is what, that is the immune system. Now immunity as such, it is what, it is layered in it is the immune response, it is layered in the three parts. One is the surface factors. Surface factor include the epithelial surfaces like the skin, then the epithelial surfaces which are lining the intestine, stomach, and then the lungs as such. So that will provide that will provide the primary type of the defense mechanism against what, against the infections. Then the innate immunity, that is what, it is a birthright as such, which you obtain because of what, because of the different things as such. And then your individual immunity is also there. So that is the innate immunity. And then the acquired immunity, it is what, it is the immunity which you gain during your life course, when you are exposed to the different type of the pathogens, different type of the antigens, and so on. So because of that, various type of the antibodies, and then the different type of the cells, they are formed. So this is what these are the three layers of layers of the immunity as such. Now the diet and immunity, they are also having very important type of the function. The diet as such, it is nothing but what? It is the sum total of the nutritional intake which you take in a quantitative manner, that is called as what? That is called as the diet. So the immunity, it is dependent on what? It is dependent on the diet. The nutrition deficiencies and excess can harm the immune system. So both, if the nutrient deficiencies are there, if your diet is low, then it will affect your immune system. If it is in excess, it will again affect or it will harm the immune system. Both innate and acquired immunity, it is affected in the malnutrition. So malnutrition is a big problem. Some of the foods can stimulate the allergic reactions in the susceptible person. For example, many people, they are what? They are intolerant to the milk and other type of the things. So milk is a food, but some people, they are what? They are allergic to what? To this particular type of the component. So the food can do this thing also, or immunity can play in an adverse way this way also. So a nutritional immunology, which we are going to talk, it is defined as what? Nutritional immunology is a field of immunology that focuses on study about the influence of what? The nutrition on immune system and its protective function. So how the the nutrition affect your immunity and immunology, immune reactions. That is a very important thing that we have to see. Now here, this is the network of interactions between what? Between the nutrition and immunity. Now host diet, it will decide the nutritional status of host, and then both of them, they communicate with what? The microbial flora in the gut, and this nutritional state, it will give a feedback, or it is giving a feeding behavior, or it gives a feedback because of which the host can adjust its feeding or diet, and accordingly it will again give the interaction with the microbial community in the gut. So because of that, the resistance in a person, it can be increased. So the diet pattern of everyone, it is the different, and this will give the fitness of the host as such, and then the overcoming of the pathogen side effects as such. So malnutrition, as all of you know, malnutrition is a worldwide problem, and it is the obstacle as such between the health and the development as such in over the worldwide. Now infection and malnutrition, they go hand in hand. If the malnutrition increases, it will aggravate the immunodeficiency also, and it will increase the rate of infection and the severity of infection as such. So there are many causes of increased susceptibility to the infection among the underprivileged and the malnourished community. So lack of proteins, vitamins, minerals in the protein energy malnutrition, it may lead to what? It may lead to the changes in the immune competence as such in the cell-mediated immunity, and then the bactericidal function of the neutrophils complement system and the secretory immunoglobulins like IgA antibodies as such. So again, the lack of health education, illiteracy, contaminated food and water, poor sanitation, overcrowding, these are the important things which are worsening the situation. Of this, some particular factors we are experiencing for last 2 years. That is what the overcrowding and the poor sanitation and all other type of the thing, and the lack of health education. In the last 2 years, we have we are educated for what? We are educated for the health education much more when the COVID came. Before that, there was no practice of hand washing and other thing as such, but now everyone, it is doing what? It is doing the hand washing. Then apart from that, we are avoiding the overcrowding, the social distancing we are maintaining, and the use of mask and everything. It is the health education that we get, and it was lacking previously. That's why we faced a particular type of the situation in part. So this is the situation as such. Now another thing, it is the obesity. Obesity, it is also associated. It is with the bad functioning of the immune system. It is associated with it is associated with the adipose tissue inflammation. The adipose tissue, it is the tissue which is present in your abdominal region as such, and the hip region, where it gives what? It gives the inflammation and it increases the risk of infection. So the adipose tissue, abdominal adipose tissue, it suppresses the T and B cells, which are important as such in giving what? The immunity. So these are what? These are the certain bad effects of what? Bad effects of the obesity. So obesity, it must be avoided. Obesity also gives the different type of the diseases, for example, the cardiovascular diseases and so on. Now, what is the malnutrition scenario during the COVID? Now this is a very important thing. The National Family Health Survey of 22 states for 19 to 20 for 2019-20 indicate that increase in percentage of children with stunted growth in urban areas. Percentage of malnourished children in urban area, it is increased during the COVID situation. Increase in the severe malnutrition, it has increased from 9.4 to 10.9%, and this is more prominent in rural areas. Percentage of anemia among the children is on rise. It has been increased from 53.8% to 68.9%. The rural children population shares 70%, while the other people, it is what? It is nearly about 66.3% in the urban. So this is what? This is the scenario as such. It is because of what? It is because of the COVID situation. Then the percentage of obese children, it is also increasing. Now this is again the alarming situation. Urban children shows this tendency with 5.2% increase, while in rural children it is also observed up to 3.4%. So this is what? This is the latest survey of what? Of the National Family Health Survey, and it has indicated this particular thing regarding what? Regarding the malnourishment and then the obesity, particularly in what? In the children. I am talking about the children much more because the forthcoming wave, which is expected, the third wave, it is going to hit, which is expected to the children. So that's why I am focusing this particular slide. Now, what are the other factors? The hormones and then the other thing, they also give the effect on the immunity. They act as the immunomodulators. Female sex hormones, they stimulate both the adaptive and immune responses. Then the hormones directly suppress the B cells and the T cells, particularly for many more time. The steroids which are given in what? During the COVID treatment, they are going to down-regulate the immunity, and also they are increasing the sugar levels. So both the things, they are happening because of what? Because of the different type of the treatments which are given in the COVID situation. Then the estrogen may also influence the antigen processing, and it will cause the autoimmunity. So the autoimmunity, it may also occur because of what? Because of the hormone. Then in case of the in case of the male, the sex hormone, that is the testosterone, it seems to be immunosuppressive. The testosterone level increases when you go for excessive exercise, when you go excessive physical work. So because of that, the immunity go on increasing as such, immunity go on decreasing. So because of that, always do your exercise at optimal level. Don't go for excessive type of the exercise and the physical work as such, particularly in the situation such as the COVID situation, where your immunity must be kept properly. Now, other hormones appear to regulate the immune system as such, in that the prolactin, growth hormones, and then the vitamin D. Now, this vitamin D plays a crucial role in the immune system that we are going to discuss in further slides. Now, if you come to the Indian diet, now the cereal pulse-based Indian diets, they are qualitatively deficient in the micronutrients, particularly iron, calcium, vitamin A, riboflavin, folic acid, and vitamin D. Now, if you go for the dietary etiology of micronutrient deficiencies in India, dietary etiology याचा अर्थ हा आहे की डाएट मुळे होणारे जे काही डेफिशियन्सीज आहेत त्याचे काय परिणाम होतात. डायटेटरी एटिओलॉजी फॉर मायक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट म्हणजे सूक्ष्म तत्वे जी आहेत, सूक्ष्म पोषाहार तत्वे. नाव त्यांना आपण सूक्ष्म पोषाहार तत्वे म्हणतो, ज्याच्यामध्ये व्हिटॅमिन्स आणि बाकीच्या गोष्टी येतात. सो a survey it was conducted by National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau, NIN, National Institute of Nutrition, in 9 states of India. And from that, a report it has been given. That is what the Indian diets are qualitatively deficient in the micronutrients, particularly iron, calcium, vitamin A, riboflavin, folic acid, and it causes the hidden hunger. Now, this hidden hunger, it is a very, very important type of the thing which many more people do not recognize that they are having this hidden hunger. Hidden hunger याचा अर्थ दबलेली भूक किंवा छुपी भूक याला म्हणता येतं. या याच्यामध्ये आपण जेव्हा प्रोटीन आणि कार्बोहायड्रेट खूप जास्ती प्रमाणात घेत असतो तेव्हा आपलं पोट भरल्यासारखं वाटतं. पण त्याच वेळेस आपण ही जी सूक्ष्म पोषाहार तत्व आहेत ही घेत नाही. विटामिन ए, रायबोफ्लेविन, फोलिक ऍसिड, त्या तत्वांमुळे प्रोटीन आणि कार्बोहायड्रेट ज्यांना की ठोस आहार तत्व म्हटलं जातं त्यांचं ऍब्झॉर्प्शन, त्यांचं शोषण आपल्या आतड्यांमधून होत नाही. आणि म्हणून जरी आपलं पोट भरल्यासारखं वाटत असलं तरी आपली भूक जी आहे ती शांत झालेली नसते आणि म्हणून त्याला आपण हिडन हंगर म्हणतो. छुपलेली दबी हुई भूक त्याला हिंदीमध्ये म्हणण्यात येतं. म्हणून त्याचं नाव आपण हिडन हंगर दिलेलं आहे. सो दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ व्हॉट? दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ the low intake of what? Low intake of protective foods such as the pulses, vegetables, green leafy vegetables, fruits, foods of animal origin, etc. Now, what are the consequences of micronutrient deficiencies? Apart from the human suffering due to morbidity and mortality, the malnutrition in general and nutrient deficiencies in particular have a high economic cost. The productivity losses because of this poor nutrition are estimated to be more than 10% of lifetime earnings for an individual and 2 to 3% of GDP to the nation. तर हा मायक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट म्हणजे सूक्ष्म पोषाहार तत्वांची जी कमी असते लोकांमध्ये, त्याच्यामुळे होणारे इकॉनॉमिक लॉसेस हे इतके जास्ती आहेत की ते एका माणसाच्या पूर्ण जीवनाच्या 10% कमाईच्या बरोबर त्याच्यामुळे होणारे लॉसेस आहेत. आणि जर तुम्हाला हे सूक्ष्म पोषाहार तत्वांचं जर तुम्हाला निर्मूलन करायचं असेल किंवा त्याच्यावरती ट्रीटमेंट घ्यायची असेल, उपचार घ्यायचा असेल, तर त्याचा खर्च हा 27 पटीने त्याचं प्रतिबंध करण्यापेक्षा जास्त आहे. म्हणून आपल्याला त्याचा प्रतिबंध करणं आवश्यक आहे, ना की त्यांच्यावर उपचार करायचे झाल्यानंतर. So the cost of treating malnutrition, it is 27 times more than the investment required for its prevention. So this is a very important point for the micronutrient deficiencies in India. Nowadays, the macronutrient deficiencies, which are caused by what? Which are caused by the protein energy malnutrition. They are not much worrying, but the micronutrient deficiencies, they are worrying because not only the poor people, but the affluent people also, they suffer from micronutrient deficiencies in India. Because of what? Because of the different reasons, because of the lifestyles, because of the changed patterns of life, etc. So now these are what? These are the certain common nutritional deficiencies. The prevalence of anemia in all groups, it is higher in India as compared to other developing countries. Dietary vitamin D intake is very low in India. Low consumption of vitamin D rich foods, then absence of fortification, low use of supplements, food supplements, etc. They are responsible. Now this is a vicious circle. That is how the inadequate dietary intake, that will give the loss of growth, faltering immunity, lowered mucosal damage, immunity it is lowered, growth faltering is there, and mucosal damage it occurs. Because of that, the disease incidence, severity, and duration, all 3 things go on increasing, and this gives again the loss of appetite, loss of nutrient, malabsorption, altered metabolism. Again, it will give the weight loss, and again inadequate dietary intake. So this circle go on because of what? Because of the malnutrition. Now, vitamin and minerals which support the immune function or the immunity. which participate in the immune system. Now these are what? These are the selected vitamins, trace elements, support immune function, strengthening the epithelial barriers, cellular and humoral immunity as such. This include the epithelial barriers. They are affected by the vitamin A, C, E, cellular immunity, A, B6, vitamin B12, C, D, E, folic acid, iron, zinc, copper, selenium. Vitamin A, B6, B12, D, E, folic acid, zinc, copper, selenium, they are necessary for the antibody production. So for all the different type of vitamins, now vitamin A is participating everywhere, then zinc is participating everywhere, vitamin E is participating everywhere. So you will find that all these micronutrients, they are very much important for what? For the immunity at all levels, at 3 levels. That is what? The epithelial barriers, cellular immunity, and then the antibody production as such. Now here, if we consider the role of vitamin A. Now vitamin A, it is very much important in what? In giving, not only for giving the visual system in a visual system functioning in a proper way, but it also maintains the functioning and differentiation of epithelial surfaces, erythrocyte production, reproduction, normal immune function, so on. Now this vitamin A, it is present or it is available in the 3 metabolite forms. One is what? One is the retinoic acid, retinol, and retinal. And then out of that, the retinoic acid, it is very much useful for what? For development of what? Development of the certain type of the receptors on what? On the T and B cells. Now the T and B cells, they are what? They are the immune cells. They are produced by the immune organs, and then simply not production of this T and B cell. It is not finishing the function, but it needs what? It needs that the T and B cells, they must be homed, or they must be positioned at a particular type of the lesion where the infection is going on. So for that purpose, the T and B cell must migrate and they must join with that particular wound, that particular type of the lesion, or that particular type of infection. For example, inside the intestine and so many other inflamed type of the tissues. Now, how these particular receptors they are produced? They are produced because of what? Because of this vitamin A. Now, the retinoic acid, it has got a very important type of the role in all these functions as such. Now, this is what? This is the figure which shows. Now, this is the mesenteric lymph node, where this is what? This is the dendritic cell, and this dendritic cell, it produces what? It produces the CD103. It is the integrin on interaction with what? With this T lymphocyte. Now, this T lymphocyte, it is what? It gives the cell-mediated immunity. It is produced in the lymph node. When it interacts with this dendritic cell, it gives what? It gives the production of retinoic acid. Now, this retinoic acid, it gives the production of this alpha 4 beta 7 type of the proteins as such, which are protruded outside of what? Outside of the T lymphocyte. Apart from that, it develops what? CCR9 type of what? Of the receptors. Now, this cell, it comes out and then it joins with what? It joins with the one particular type of the receptor, that is the MADCAM1 in the lumen of what? Lumen of your intestine. So the joining takes place with this alpha 4 beta 7. If this alpha 4 beta 7 it is not there, this T lymphocyte, it is of no use. So retinoic acid, it is what? It is very much important, because without retinoic acid, it cannot be developed. Similarly, this CCR9, it also helps in detecting what? Detecting the CCL5. This is what? This is a substance which is produced by what? Which is produced by the infected tissue, that is called as the chemokine, which attract what? Which attract the T lymphocyte. But for that purpose, the recognition must be there, and this recognition, it is given by the CCR9 type of the receptor. They are also developed because of the retinoic acid. So in this way, how the vitamin A is important, and without vitamin A, the intestine cannot become healthy. So these are what? These are the various type of the functions which are given by the vitamin A and its derivatives, retinol and retinoic acid. So different type of the cells, they are activated, which are participating in the immune system as such. Now, vitamin A in general helps the development of immune system functioning, promoting of the mucus development in the lungs. So that is very much helpful in what? in preventing the entry of entry of the different particulate material. Mucus is defense mechanism against the bacteria and viruses. Vitamin A helps in the development of antibodies required to fight the infection. Now, vitamin C, all of you know, nowadays everyone is knowing that vitamin C, you take the vitamin C, everyone advises, every doctor advises, and on the WhatsApp group also we come across, take the vitamin C tablets and so many other things. So it enhances what? It enhances the collagen synthesis. It protects against the reactive oxygen species which are produced by the damaged cells. Then it enhances the fibroblast proliferation, shortens the time of wound healing in the patient. It acts as an antioxidant. It enhances the phagocytosis. It enhances the microbial killing and so many other things. And then it modulates the cytokine production also, and it decreases the histamine level. Now this cytokine, it plays a very big role in what? In giving the symptoms of what? Symptoms of the COVID-19. So it must be modulated, and that is done by the vitamin C. There is the role of what? Role of this vitamin C. So these are what? These are the different type of the cells, how they are affected. The immune cells, they are affected by the vitamin C. Again, the production of antibodies, it is also accelerated because of what? Because of the vitamin C as such. Then the neutrophils. The neutrophils, they are also activated. Their chemotaxis. Chemotaxis means what? The movement of what? Movement of this neutrophil towards what? Towards a site of infection. It is increased because of what? Because of the vitamin C. So vitamin C plays an important role in giving the protection against what? Against the different type of pathogens and activating the immune system and modulating the different type of the different type of the immune factors. So now the vitamin D. Now this vitamin D is a magic type of vitamin. It can work two ways. It will modulate your immune system in that it will increase certain type of what? Certain type of the immune, certain type of the immune factors. And in some cases, it gives what? It gives the increase of what? Increase of or the production of certain type of other type of the products by these cells. So it perform by both the ways. Now, in one case, now all of you know, in the COVID-19, in COVID-19, the particular type of the condition that appear and the death follow, it is because of what? It is because of the ARDS, that is called as the acute respiratory syndrome, distress syndrome, that is the ARDS, or it is because of the cytokine storm. Now in the cytokine storm, this interleukin 6, it plays a very important role. Now this interleukin 6, always the doctor nowadays it is checking how is your IL-6 level in your blood. Now why it is so? Because this interleukin 6, it gives what? It gives this cytokine storm, and this cytokine storm, it go on destroying what? It go on destroying the pathogenic organism, but apart from that, it go on destroying the own cells also, because of which your lungs collapse. So the vitamin D modulate the production of this cytokine storm. It modulate the interleukin 6 production. So vitamin D, it downregulate, means what? It doesn't allow. विटामिन डी हा सायटोकाइन स्टॉर्म येऊ देत नाही, ज्याच्यामुळे आपल्याला सगळ्यात जास्त धोका असतो कोविड-19 सारख्या ह्याच्यात. त्यास अपार्ट फ्रॉम दॅट, इट वर्क ऑन व्हॉट? इट वर्क ऑन the certain type of the expression of what? Expression of the proteins. It gives the production of certain type of antibacterial and antiviral substances, and again it helps in what? In regulating the certain type of the protein like ACE2 receptors. Many of you might be knowing the ACE2. It is a type of receptor where the COVID-19 virus, it joins first. That is the first entry point for this particular organism. So this is a very important type of vitamin D. We will discuss this point in other slides. Now the vitamin D, it is present in what? It is present in the different forms in our body. It is the vitamin D2, vitamin D3, and simply vitamin D. And another form, it is called as the 125D vitamin D. So the vitamin D, 125 vitamin D form, it acts on the monocytes and the dendritic cell, which include the inhibition of inflammatory cytokine production by monocytes and inhibition of the dendritic cell differentiation and maturation, which I just told, that is the interleukin 6, and then the other type of the things, they are inhibited. Now here, this is the vitamin D. Now this vitamin D, it is coming to your system from diet in the form of D2, D3. The D2, the D3, it is what? It is the it is the cholecholesterol and then algocalciferol. Whereas the vitamin D, it is there. Now this vitamin D, it is converted into what? It is converted into the 25D vitamin. It goes to the different type of the monocytes where the vitamin D recognizing receptors are there. They recognize it, and then there is one enzyme CYP27B1. It is what? It is the vitamin D activating enzyme which convert this 25D into the 125D. This 125D, it suppresses the interleukin 6 development. So this is present in the epithelial cells. This is present. Now the kidney also, it is capable of producing this 125D. So 125D, it is possible to be present in the blood. From there, it goes to the other cells where this particular VDR and then the CYP27B1, they are not available. Apart from that, it suppresses what? It suppresses the TH1 and the TH17 type of that is the T helper 1 and the T helper 17 cells, because of which again the interleukin production, it gets suppressed. So this is what? This is the different type of mechanisms they are available. Now the vitamin E, it is what? It acts as an antioxidant. It doesn't allow the oxidation of what? The polyunsaturated fatty acids present in the membrane, and protects the cells from damage as such. So these are what? This is the alpha tocopherol, that is the vitamin E, which act on the macrophages, dendritic cell. It gives the production of antibody production, natural killer cells, and so on. So vitamin B12, it affects the immunity. It maintains the ratio of CD4 by CD8. Now this CD4 by CD8, that is this particular ratio, if it is not maintained, again what will happen? The interleukin 6, that will go on increasing. So the vitamin B12 plays an important role. Apart from that, the vitamin B12, it is very much useful in what? In the production of the folic acid in your system. The folic acid, it is very much essential in what? In the DNA and RNA synthesis, and also it is useful in the production of immunoglobulin, that is what? The antibody production. So vitamin B12, it has got a very wide type of the role in what? In the immunity and the metabolism, the very important type of the processes it is controlling. So vitamin B12, again, it is very much important. It controls the secretion of the IgG antibody, IgA antibody, IgM antibody. It increases the NK cell functions. It also restores what? The CD4 by CD8 ratio. Otherwise, if the CD4 by CD8 ratio it go on increasing, it will increase what? The interleukin 6 level, which will cause the cytokine storm. The vitamin B6. The vitamin B6, it acts as a coenzyme for what? For more than 100 metabolic reactions, and which are essential for the nucleic acid and protein biosynthesis as such. It produces what? It is helpful in the production of antibodies. It is also helpful in the cytokine buildup. Then it will downregulate again the formation of what? Formation of interleukin 6, which is very much important in what? In the COVID, and again the TNF alpha levels as such. So the vitamin B6 also, it plays an important role in maintaining the immunity and modulating the immunity as such. It helps the antibody production. So this vitamin B6, it is also important vitamin. Then the folic acid, all of you know the folic acid, it is useful, or it gives what? It gives the development of what? Development of the neural tube and the neural development during the pregnancy. It is useful in what? In the development of hemoglobin synthesis. Apart from that, it is very much useful in the immune response. It maintains what? It maintains the CD4 by CD8 ratio. And then again, it will act as what? It will act as the stimulant for antibody production as such against several type of antigens. So after that, the role of iron in the immunity. The iron, it plays an important role. Again, the Fe is essential for what? For the different type of the enzymes like the ribonucleotide reductase, which is involved in the DNA synthesis. That is, your DNA cannot be synthesized without iron. Iron is linked with what? Linked with the regulation of cytokine production again. And again, it will give the proliferation of what? Proliferation of the T lymphocytes. So the proliferation means the development of what? The T lymphocytes, which are very much useful in giving the immunity. So iron, it is also useful in what? In giving the activity of one enzyme, that is the myeloperoxidase, which kills the bacteria. Without iron, this enzyme cannot work. So the iron, it has got a very important role in what? In our immunity, in the metabolism, and in the physiology also, because if the iron deficiency is there, the hemoglobin levels are also going down. Now the effect of zinc. Today, in the COVID-19, everyone is taking the Zincovit type of what? The particular vitamin preparation. It contains the zinc, and the zinc is known to play important role in the immune system. The very first thing is that if the zinc deficiency is there, the thymus gland, which is present in your which works as what? The important type of the immune organ. Now that undergo the degeneration. So the atrophy of what? The thymus, it is because of what? It is because of the zinc deficiency. If the zinc is proper, then the thymus gland, it is working in a proper way. So again, this zinc, it is very much useful in what? In giving the proliferation of what? The different type of the T lymphocytes, and it regulate what? It regulate the production of CD4 and the CD8 cells. So thereby it maintains the interleukin level in your body. Now, this is what? The effect of fiber. The fibrous fruit, the fibrous food, we always it is suggested to take. We must take the fiber. Many more nutritionists, many more dietitians, they say the fiber should be taken. So this fiber, if the fiber is available, then your mucus layer in your intestine, it is what? It is very healthy, which is present, which is shown in what? In this diagram on the left hand side, and it doesn't allow the entry of the different pathogens. But on the right hand side, if the fiber is not available, the mucus layer of your intestine, it is not proper, it causes the inflammation, it gives the entry of different type of organisms. So these organisms, they will give what? They will give the different type of acid production, mucin degradation, and it will give the altered permeability, causing what? Causing the diseases as such, and the entry of pathogen inside the intestinal lumen. So this is what? This is the use of fiber, and the fiber is required. Then nowadays, the probiotics. The probiotics, it is what? It is a live microbial food supplement which beneficially affect the host or the animal by improving its intestinal microbial flora. So intestinal microbial flora, it is very much important, and it is improved by using of what? By using of probiotics. So it is what? The example, it is the L. bulgaricus, that is the Lactobacillus bulgaricus, Lactobacillus shirota, then the Bifidobacterium species. Now they are available in the market as the probiotic products. For example, you might be knowing the Yakult, then the probiotic dahi, and all other things, they are available, and they provide all these type of bacteria, and which will maintain the immune balance and the many more type of activities as such in your body. Now these are what? These are the beneficiary activities of what? Of the probiotics. It gives the immunomodulation, that is very, very important. It lowers down the cholesterol. Then it also improves the lactose tolerance. Then it reduces the risk of colon cancers. Then it supplies this short chain fatty acids and the vitamins. It produces the vitamin B12, folic acid. Now vitamin B12, its source, it is generally said that it is from the animal origin. Vitamin B12 चा जो स्रोत आहे तो तुम्हाला जास्ती करून प्राणीजन्य पदार्थांमध्ये तुम्हाला मिळतो. उदाहरणार्थ मांसाहारी लोकांना त्याचं हे कमी असतं, अंड्यामध्ये असतं, फिशेस मध्ये असतं. त्याच्यामुळे व्हेजिटेरियन फूड्स खाणारे जे लोक आहेत त्यांच्यामध्ये व्हिटॅमिन B12 ची कमतरता राहू शकते. पण व्हिटॅमिन B12 जर तुम्हाला वाढवायचं असेल तर प्रोबायोटिक फूड that you can take, and vitamin B12, it is produced by this probiotic culture in very large amount. So it gives what? It gives the very good type of what? The balance of vitamins. It gives the natural type of vitamins as such. So instead of taking what? The vitamin tablets, if you consume the probiotic food, it will improve your vitamin levels in your body. Particularly vitamin B12, folic acid, याची जर कमतरता असेल तर त्यांनी ते probiotic food घ्यावं. Apart from that, if you take the broad spectrum antibiotic, at that time also you may suffer from a diarrhea. So that can be overcome by what? By taking the probiotics. Nowadays, the doctor also advise the lactobacillus type of the sachets. These are what? These are the lactobacillus. It is what? It is a pouch available in the market. When you go to the doctor and he gives you the broad spectrum antibiotic, at that time you get what? You get that lactobacillus pouch, because it contains the probiotic organism and it improves your intestinal health. So these are the beneficial effects which are found among the human because of this probiotic. So it gives the health promotion, inhibition of carcinogenesis, that is, it doesn't allow the cancer formation. It reduces the cholesterol level. It increases the calcium absorption. It gives the destruction of anti-nutritional factors. It synthesizes riboflavin, vitamin B12, folic acid, niacin, pyridoxine. It gives the protein digestion. So these are what? These are the beneficial effect, and directly it modulates your what? The immunity. So this is what? This is the diagrammatic representation that how the probiotics play an important role. Now, phytochemicals. The role of phytochemicals. What is the phytochemical? The phytochemicals, they are what? They are the molecules in the plants, vegetables, fruits, and other products which give the dual purpose or the dual use. It prevent the health. It for the preventive health care. It acts as a nutrient also, or you can use it as a therapeutic molecule like pharmaceuticals, and now it is also called as what? The nutraceutical. So now these particular molecules, ही जी तत्व जी आहेत ही तुमच्या भाज्यांमधनं, फळांमधनं आणि निरनिराळ्या वनस्पतींमधनं काढतात आणि त्याला प्युरिफाईड फॉर्म मध्ये आणून त्याला न्यूट्रासिटिकल म्हणून विकण्यात येतं. पण ते तुमच्याजवळ नॅचरल पद्धतीने तुमच्याजवळ उपलब्ध आहेत. इफ यू कन्झ्युम दोज पर्टिक्युलर टाइप ऑफ व्हेजिटेबल्स, सीझनल फूड्स, ज्या मोसमी भाज्या आहेत किंवा जी फळं आहेत ती जर तुम्ही खाल्ली तर तुम्हाला हे न्यूट्रासिटिकल मिळतील आणि त्याचा खूप उपयोग तुम्हाला होऊ शकतो. पोटेन्शियल दे आर तुम्हाला होऊ शकतो वेगवेगळ्या टाईपच्या रोगांच्या प्रतिकार करण्यामध्ये, आणि ते तुमची रोग प्रतिकार शक्ती सुद्धा वाढवू शकतात. So many seasonal vegetables, fruits, spices, condiments, they contain what? These phytochemicals. So now the possible role of nutrition in COVID-19. So all of you know what is the situation about the COVID pandemic right from 30th of January 2020 onwards. So these are the figures that are available anywhere, that how many people they have suffered all over the world and what is the situation of India that is there. Now some points to note regarding the different aspects. That is what? The mode of transmission, all of you know, it is the aerosol, close contact. Target organ, it is the lower respiratory tract, that is the lungs. Target population, it is 85% people above 65 years with impaired immunity and other complications like cardiovascular diseases. Then 10% are the children, 5 to 10% are between 40 to 55 years with diabetes, CVD, and impaired immunity. Few cases of youth population in the first wave, but now in the second wave, this particular percentage of the youth population, it has been increased. So that is a remarkable difference in what? In the first wave and the second wave. The geographical distribution, mostly urban, highly populated cities. In the first wave, they were involved, but now in the second wave, rural as well as the urban population, it is also equally affected. Now diagnosis, it is what? By RT-PCR or by the rapid antibody testing. Prevention, it is the physical distancing, use of mask, and so many other things. In the second wave, a very few are vaccinated. So for prevention, we can now use the vaccine. The prophylaxis, it is the hydrochloroquine. It is what it was used in the first wave for the health workers, and after that, in certain cases, in the second wave, the remdesivir, it was used in the alarming cases. I am not going to talk much more about the remdesivir because there are so many things about the remdesivir to talk. Now, the treatment, no drug is available initially, but later stages, the 2-deoxyglucose, it has been introduced. Only supportive treatment, it is the way to treat this particular disease. Active immunization, vaccine is just available, and the vaccination is going on. It is not the complete population, it is vaccinated, only few percentage it is vaccinated. Passive immunization, no anti-serum. Plasma therapy, it is now withdrawn. Previously it was expected to give certain result, but now the ICMR says that the plasma therapy is no longer way in going to help you. So in such situation, is there any other way to protect the population? Can nutritional immunology play some role at least to inhibit the proliferation in the host body and delay the further spread till vaccination or drug develops? To answer this, we have to take a quick look at how the COVID-19 it gives the infection. Now this is the way that how the COVID it joins with the receptor ACE2. Now the ACE2, it is the receptor, it joins, it comes here. Then many of you might be knowing it gives this is the plus strand. It gives what? It gives the different type of the proteins. Then the protein, then the capsid, it is developed in what? In the Golgi complex, and then processing it is done, and then it is released back. So this is the progeny virus. It is going, and now it affects the fresh cells within the same body. So this is what? This is the MERS, that is the MERS-CoV, and this is what? This is the SARS-CoV. So both are compared here. Now this is the one more diagram. This is what? The ACE2. Now the ACE2, it is not the only one, it is possible. But along with the ACE2, there is what? There is one more protein that is available in our cell, and that is called as TMPRSS2. That is what? It is the transmembrane protein Syrian protease. Now this particular type of the protein, or this particular type of the factor, it is very much important. Now you can see here, this is what? This is the spike protein of what? Of the virus. It joins with the ACE2. Now once it joins, it is not that directly the virus can enter. Here there is a lock. There is a lock, but that lock should be opened. And who will open the lock? The lock is opened by your own cell system. That is what? This is the TMPRSS2. What does it do? This TMPRSS2, it cut this particular ACE2 section, and because of that, the one part of what? One part of this spike protein of virus, it is also removed. But because of this, what happened now? The virus directly enters inside what? Inside the membrane. Now there is no hindrance. The virus will enter directly. So it is what? It is this particular TMPRSS2. It is helping the virus in other way. So this may be the target type of what? Target type of the protein which we can use for the treatment. So if we do not allow to develop this particular protein, or if we do not allow to work this protein, though the virus joins with ACE2, it will not enter. And then this is what? This is the entire type of what? The life cycle, how the different proteins are developed and all other things. Now how the vitamin D or 125D, it protects against the COVID virus. Now here the important thing is that many more times we say that there is a comorbidity. Comorbidity in that we say the people, those who are having the hypertension and other things. Now why the people they are having the hypertension? It is because of the fact that our kidneys, they produce the renin. Now this renin, it acts on one protein which is present in our intestinal area and in other parts, that is called as the angiotensinogen. So renin cleaves it, angiotensinogen, into the active angiotensin 1. This angiotensin 1, it is acted upon by the ACE1, that is the angiotensin converting enzyme. It converts this angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2. As soon as this angiotensin 2 forms, it goes to what? It goes to the blood vessels and it gives the constriction of vessel. Vessel त्याच्यामुळे कॉन्स्ट्रिक्ट होतात, दबतात, आणि त्याच्यामुळे तुम्हाला कार्डिओव्हॅस्क्युलर डिसीज, हायपरटेन्शन सुरू होतं. So at that time, the ACE2, it is induced. Once the angiotensin 2 it is available in this system or in the blood, immediately there is a production of what? The ACE2, that is a receptor for COVID virus. It degrades this angiotensin 2 into what? Into the 7 pieces, and because of that the CVD it is released. So again, so the hypertension it is relieved. But here the fear of what? Fear of getting infected by the COVID-19 it increases. Now what is the role of vitamin D? That is vitamin 125D. Now this vitamin 125D, as I explained previously, that how it forms in the different cells, it directly inhibits the gene expression. Now those are the students of microbiology, biology, or they know the gene expression. So it is what? It doesn't allow the expression of the renin. Renin is a protein. So at genetic level it acts. It doesn't allow the expression of this protein. So renin is not formed. Angiotensinogen, it is not converted into the angiotensin 1. So ACE will not produce. It will not produce the angiotensin 2, and subsequently there will be no ACE2. So as the ACE2 is not there, the COVID cannot enter. So this is the role of vitamin D. That is the one role as such. Now another role, it is what? Now this is the diagrammatic representation. This 125D, as I told you, this 125D, it downregulate the production of what? Production of the IL-6, that is the interleukin 6, which is a cytokine, and which gives what? Which gives a cytokine storm. Now this cytokine storm, when it comes, it go on destructing your lung cells, and because of that the condition of the patient go on worsening, and there is what? There is a death of the person follow. So this particular type of what? The 125D, it doesn't allow the occurrence of this cytokine. This is the main role of this vitamin D. Again, apart from that, it produce what? It produce the certain type of what? Certain type of antimicrobial peptides, that is the AMP. Out of that, the LL37, which is called as the cathelicidin. Now this cathelicidin, it is what? It is active against the virus. It kills the virus. It is antiviral. So the vitamin D, it induces the neutrophils and then the other type of the cells of the immune system to produce this antiviral substance also. So these are what? The multiple effects of what? Of the vitamin D, if it is present optimally in your body. That is very, very important. But in the previous discussion, I have said that the majority of the population, it is vitamin D deficient in our country. So this is what? This is regarding the vitamin D. Now vitamin B12. Vitamin B12, it act on what? It act on the one particular type of the protein of what? Of your virus. That is what? That is the COVID virus. It is the NSP12. That is the non-structural protein 12, which produces what? Which produces the multiple copies of the RNA and gives the progeny. So it is the RNA dependent RNA polymerase. So the methylcobalamin of the vitamin B12 form, it gives what? It gives the inhibitory effect on what? On this NSP12, that is the RNA dependent RNA polymerase. So that is found experimentally as such. Then the probiotic cultures, they are also very much useful in what? In the renin inhibition. So if vitamin D, it is not available in your body, you take the probiotic cultures regularly, maintain that probiotic flora. The probiotic cultures, they produce what? They produce this particular type of what? This particular type of the peptide, the tripeptide, that is valine, proline, proline. it gives, or it act as what? It act as a inhibitor of what? Of this angiotensin converting enzyme, because of which it gives the formation of angiotensin 2, and it gives the induction of what? ACE2. So this ACE, it is inhibited by what? By this tripeptide. So this is the probiotic effect. Apart from that, now what is the present scenario of vitamin D and vitamin B12 deficiency in population? Now vitamin D, it is vitamin D deficiency, it is wide in our country. It is ranging between 50 to 94% among the Indian population. So because of this, we have to face the severity of what? Of the diseases as such. Then the causes of vitamin D deficiency: increased indoor lifestyles, preventing the adequate exposure to sunlight. Then the pollution can hamper the synthesis of vitamin D. Changing food habits contribute to low dietary calcium and vitamin D intake. Phytates and phosphates, which are present in what? The fast foods, they deplete the vitamin D. Increased skin pigmentation and application of sunscreens, which are used by many more type of the girls and then the ladies. Then the cultural practices such as the burqa and parda system, because of which you are not exposed to the sunlight. Unspaced and unplanned pregnancies in the woman with dietary deficit, that can lead to worsening of vitamin D status in both mother and child. Vitamin B12 deficiency, it is 47% in the Indian population. Reason is that lack of balanced diet, more carbohydrate pulses in vegetarian diet, less milk, curd, non-vegetarian food, and food consumption. Now, these are the phytochemicals. Now, the phytochemicals, they are present in the plant and the vegetables, common vegetables as such. Now, these are what? These are the names of what? The different molecules which are present in the common vegetable, and these are the target proteins of what? Of the COVID virus, where they can act and they can inhibit what? They can inhibit the growth of virus as such. So this is what? This is the in silico study which is carried out by using what? By using these phytochemicals as such for the therapeutic targets in the SARS-CoV. So the seasonal vegetables, fruits, they can contribute. Here the curcumin, all of you know the curcumin, it is present in what? In the turmeric, and then the veniferin, then apart from that romasol. Now these eugenol, it is present in your different type of what? Spices, condiments, particularly in the clove oil and in the clove. So these are what? These are the various type of the substances they can give the anti-COVID type of activity that has been proved in what? In the laboratory. Now these are the nutraceuticals and the phytochemicals exhibiting immunomodulatory effect and anti-inflammatory effect. Various such type of the phytochemicals are there, and their sources are given here, like turmeric, tea leaves, apple, onion, lemon, oranges, rhubarb, then the basil, oregano, thyme, prunes are there. And what they are doing, you will find that here they are down regulating what? These particular type of the pathways which give the cytokine storm. Now here it reduces the expression of pro-inflammatory cytokine, that is the IL-6, which I am talking. So this IL-6, it is the main culprit in giving the cytokine storm. So this is what? This is down regulated and this is inhibited. So these are what? These are the substances which are very much useful, and that's why it is given that you take the haldi kada, and then the tea and so many other things as such. So list is very long. Vitamin E, vitamin C, B6 we talk. Then the resveratrol, it is present in the grapes, peanuts. Then the key flavins, they are present in the tea leaves, gingenstin, soybeans, allergenic acid, semesol. Then here it is one. It is what? It is the luteolin. Luteolin, it is also present in many more Ayurvedic preparations. Then the carnitine, berberine, taxifolin. So all these are what you will find everywhere. The IL-6, that is the interleukin 6, which causes the cytokine storm and gives the death of the person. They are what? They are inhibited by consumption of these particular type of the substances, which are present in what? Which are present in the normal type of vegetables as such. But today, as and when, we never use these particular seasonal vegetables and the fruits in our daily practices. So that is the another thing. So the current food habits and other practices. The consumption of less balanced food, consumption of fast food, consumption of carbonated beverages. This gives the deficiencies of micronutrients. Micronutrient deficiency is not a problem of poor people, but also in the affluent families. Unnecessary use of plant foods, exposure, non-exposure to sunlight, use of ACs, sunscreen, lotions, etc. Certain taboos and beliefs about the diet, early marriages, unspaced pregnancies, poverty and illiteracy, no use of variety of vegetable, fruits, or the seasonal vegetables and the fruits as such in common way. So now what is the future threat? Various reports indicate that there is a loss of job that all of you know. Because of that, the income is lowered, and then because of the less income, it may lead to the malnutrition. Again, offline and the physical schooling, it is stopped. So government has introduced in the schools the different type of the midday meals and other type of the things. So they are also stopped. So because of that, the micronutrient deficiencies and the deficiency of the nutrient that go on increasing. Then, as in the previous report, I have shown that obesity, it is increasing. The malnourishment population, it is increasing because of what? Because of the COVID and during the COVID as such. And the new variants of corona are hitting with changed antigenic structure, pose a threat of third wave on vulnerable population with impaired immunity. So those people which are malnourished, particularly the children who are malnourished, they become the vulnerable population for what? For the third wave. So this impaired immunity is mostly due to malnourishment. Thus malnutrition may arise as a comorbidity in third wave. Now this is the another prediction. Till date, we are talking about the comorbidities. They are the cardiovascular diseases, cancer, and then the diabetes. But now there will be the addition of this malnutrition. Malnutrition among children is a challenge, and thus it is feared that if third wave comes, it may affect the children. It is because of this reason. So as per reports, malnutrition is on the rise due to various reasons during the COVID. It is feared that a third wave of malnourishment along with the COVID wave may come, and that is the next challenge. So this is what the conclusions are, that nutrition plays an important role in the innate immunity and acquired immunity. Micronutrients are important for healthy life. Micronutrient deficiency is not a common problem. It is not a problem of economic or a social class, but it is low immunity. It is a universal problem. Thus, large population is susceptible to the infection. Vitamin deficiencies, particularly vitamin D, B12, folic acid, iron, they are what? They must be addressed in order to fight against the infection like COVID-19, where no vaccination and treatment are available. Promotion of probiotics, it is easy way to boost up the immunity. Then consumption of seasonal vegetables, fruits must be promoted, thereby the good source of phytochemicals which may be active against the pathogen, and also immunomodulators to give a good immune response in new infections as such, where the immediate prophylaxis and the treatments are not available. Lifestyles and the wrong eating habits must be changed. So that is what these are the conclusions as such. And with this, I say that eat healthy and be safe. Thank you for patience listening about my lecture. So I conclude here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a very effective and important guidance, which will definitely help us to survive into present situation. And now I request the person who always think about the welfare of the staff and the president of the program, Dr. Mrunalini Phadnavis, ma'am.
Any questions from our audience, madam?
Yes.
Proud, sir.
As such, there is no question. All the viewers are giving their appreciation for the talk that sir has given. I request all the viewers to post question on the YouTube chat so that we can take some of the questions over here.
Okay.
So there is a question.
Yes.
Question from my side also. बरेच वेळा काय झालं की कोरोना जेव्हा इपिडेमिक चालू झालं तेव्हा हे विटॅमिन झिंक आणि विटॅमिन सी सप्लिमेंटेशनचं जे खूप फॅड एक आलं होतं,
बिलकुल.
तर ते कितपत योग्य आहे आणि द्यायचं झाल्यास ते किती दिवस द्यायला पाहिजे?
एक्झॅक्टली, आय वॉज एक्सपेक्टिंग दिस क्वेश्चन. मी तुम्हाला ऍक्च्युअल सांगतो की कुठलीही गोष्ट एक्सेस घेण्यामध्ये हे नाहीये, ते चुकीचं आहे. आणि हा जो एक व्हॉट्सअप वरती येणारे जे मेसेजेस होते, तुम्ही झिंक घ्या, झिंकोविट घ्या आणि तुमची इम्युनिटी वाढवा वगैरे, हा जो प्रकार सगळा झाला, त्याच्यामुळे काही प्रमाणात नुकसान सुद्धा झालं. आता हे नुकसान काय झालं याचा लोकांना अंदाज येत नाही अजून, पण particularly when you consume the zinc with vitamins in excess manner, no doubt when it is present in optimal levels, it will help to boost up your immunity. But when it go on excess, it start different type of the problem. And what was the problem? Problem हा झाला की बरेच वेळा आपण हे ऐकलं की आफ्टर कोविड लोक सफर व्हायला लागले म्युकरमायकोसिसमुळे. म्युकरमायकोसिसमुळे सफर व्हायला लागले. म्युकरमायकोसिसमुळे सफर होण्यामागे 2-3 कारणं दिली गेली. त्याच्यापैकी एक कारण असं आहे की तुमचं ते जे ऑक्सिजन वापरला गेला त्याच्यामधनं ते पास झालं, आणि अशी काही वेगवेगळी कारणं आहेत. बट द थिंग इज दॅट द झिंक, इट इज व्हॉट, इट इज a growth stimulator for mucor. It is a growth stimulator for mucor. आणि म्युकर मायकोसिस किंवा म्युकरचे जे स्पोर्स आहेत ते कुठेही अवेलेबल आहेत, ते केव्हाही होते, पहिलेही होते आणि आत्ताही आहेत. पण इन दिस सिच्युएशन व्हॉट हॅपन, जेव्हा एक माणूस जेव्हा कोविडने आजारी पडला आणि त्याच्या आधी तो खूप तुमचं झिंक वगैरे सगळं खात होता तरी तो आजारी पडला, त्याच्यानंतर डॉक्टरनी परत झिंक सुरू केलं त्याचं, बिकॉज इट इज अ सपोर्टिव्ह ट्रीटमेंट. And in that scenario, the zinc level in his body that go on increasing, and in that condition, when he come across the mucormycosis or the spores of mucor, it has stimulated the growth inside the body. That become a favorable condition for the mucormycosis. So such type of the effects they come. So you have to take under the doctor's prescription. या बाबतीमध्ये मी एक थोडंसं तुम्हाला सांगू इच्छितो की मायक्रोबायोलॉजी सोसायटी इंडियानी आम्ही काही ठिकाणी सर्वेच केले, छोट्या गावांमध्ये MSCच्या मुलांनी हे प्रोजेक्ट्स केले. त्याच्यामध्ये फार वेगळेच हे आले आमच्या समोर. एका कॉलेजनी सर्वे केलाय की कोविड-19च्या काळामध्ये वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे औषधांचं खपाचं प्रमाण काय होतं. यू विल बी सरप्राइज, वाशिम डिस्ट्रिक्ट मध्ये एक छोटासा डिस्ट्रिक्ट आहे विदर्भामधला, तिथे आणि वाशिम गावामध्ये त्यांनी अँटीबायोटिकही घेतले, स्टिरॉइड्सही घेतले, विटामिन झिंकोविट सगळ्याचा सर्वे त्यांनी केलेला आहे, त्याचा डाटा अवेलेबल आहे माझ्याजवळ. आणि त्यांनी सांगितलं की ॲझिथ्रोमायसिन, इफ यू टेक ॲझिथ्रोमायसिनचा कोविड-19 व्हायच्या आधी त्याचा खप होता महिन्याभरामध्ये 5 ते 10 स्ट्रिप्स, आणि कोविड-19 सुरू झाल्यानंतर त्याचा खप झाला पर मंथ 30 बॉक्सेस, पर मंथ 30 बॉक्सेस. अँड द सेम कंडिशन इज फॉर व्हॉट द झिंकोविट अँड अदर थिंग्स, बिकॉज पीपल स्टार्टेड टेकिंग ऑन देअर ओन एव्हरीथिंग. हा डाटा आमच्याजवळ अवेलेबल झालेला आहे आता. So your question, and I was expecting this question after this lecture, ki what happened when the zinc and other things they are taken in excess. Now this is what the situation.
आणखीन एक असं होतं सर की इम्युनिटीच्या बाबतीत बऱ्याच जणांचं आता हे चाललंय की कोविड होऊ नये म्हणून इम्युनिटी वाढवण्याचे विविध प्रकार लोक करतात, आणि त्यातल्या त्यात विशेषतः तरुणाई जी आहे, विद्यार्थी आहेत आणि ज्यांना बॉडी बिल्डिंगचं फॅड आहे ज्यांच्यामध्ये, त्यांच्यामध्ये एक्सेस विनाकारण प्रोटीन्स घ्यायचं प्रमाण खूप आहे, म्हणजे जे बॉक्सेस मध्ये प्रोटीन्स येतात. तर इज इट रिअली नीडेड और इट इज हार्मफुल?
मी माझ्या याच्यामध्ये सांगितलं द प्लॅन्ड फूड विच पीपल आर युझिंग दॅट वी शुड नॉट यूज. कारण याचं कारण असं आहे की तुमच्या विटामिन लेवल तुमच्या कमी आहे, तुम्ही विटामिन घेत नाही आहे, तुम्ही भाज्या खात नाही, तुम्ही काही करत नाही, आणि ते जर विटामिन तुमच्या ह्याच्यात नसतील तर तुम्ही प्रोटीन किती घेतलं तरी ते ऍब्सॉर्ब होत नाही. ऍब्सॉर्प्शन साठी या सगळ्या गोष्टी आणि त्या नॅचरली तुम्ही घेतल्या पाहिजे. तर तुम्ही असं काहीही वेगळं असं काही करू नका. तुमचं जे रोजचं डाएट आहे त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारची फळं, वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या भाज्या. आजकाल शहरी भागामध्ये हे एक तुम्ही जे सांगितलं ते एक फॅड वाढलेलं आहे. दुसरी गोष्ट, आजकाल घरामध्ये बसल्या बसल्या जो तो झोमॅटोवरून मागवणं सुरू करतो आणि त्याच्यामुळे सुद्धा सगळा तुमचा हे जो आहे तो फॅटी फूड, कार्बोहायड्रेट्स हे सगळं जास्ती जाऊन राहिलंय. अँड इट इज नॉट गिव्हिंग द विटामिन्स, मायक्रोन्युट्रिएंट अँड डिफरंट टाइप ऑफ द फायटोकेमिकल्स विच आर अवेलेबल इन नॉर्मल टाइप ऑफ व्हेजिटेबल्स ॲज सच. अगदी थोडक्यात उदाहरण सांगायचं म्हटलं तर आज मुलांना जर विचारलं की का रे तुम्ही आंबट चुक्याची भाजी खाल्ली का, तर ते विचारतील तुम्हाला आंबट चुका म्हणजे काय. त्यांना माहित नाही आहे. पण आंबट चुका ही भाजी जी आहे ही विटामिन फोलिक ऍसिड आणि विटामिन सी या दोघांचा उत्कृष्ट स्रोत आहे. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये नेचरची ब्युटी पहा काय. फोलिक ऍसिड इट इज हीट अनस्टेबल. प्रश्न हा येईल की तुम्ही जेव्हा शिजवाल तेव्हा फोलिक ऍसिड लॉस होईल, तर तुम्ही कशी भाजी बनवून खाल. पण त्याच्याच बरोबर नेचरने त्याच्यात विटामिन सी टाकलेलं आहे. अँड विटामिन सी इट इज व्हॉट, इट इज अँटीऑक्सिडंट अँड इट इज हीट रेझिस्टंट विटामिन. विटामिन सीच्या कव्हरिंगच्या आतमध्ये फोलिक ऍसिड आहे त्याच्यात. सो इट इज प्रोटेक्टेड फ्रॉम heating, oxidation and everything. So that is the beauty of nature, that how it is planned.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for giving us nice information. And now I would like to request Dr. Mrinalini Fadnavis ma'am for the presidential speech.
Thank you, madam. And I welcome all present over here, all the dignitaries, especially Dr. Patankar, for we have just asked him and simply he has accepted and has given a very informative lecture. All my colleagues and all my students. I'm really happy that nutritional immunology, though we are always listening about the immunity, this word has become like a coined in every house at present moment. But immunology is again, we have to think that what sir is going to tell about this. So those who are not from microbiology or in that area, they have a curiosity that what exactly we will get today from the lecture. But I am very sure that sir has given such a scientific information, which is very, very important from not only from the COVID pattern or different type of viruses which are entering in the system, but it also useful in general as well, because when something is happening and then we are started thinking that we have to do this, so immediately jumping on something, let us think about the proper diet, proper way of taking plant food, as you have rightly said. All these things are very, very important to know from this lecture as well. आता जे सगळे इथे स्टुडंट्स आहे, मला वाटतं जे मायक्रोबायोलॉजी, केमिस्ट्री, फार्मा रिलेटेड पण काही आहेत असू शकतात, तर त्या सगळ्यांना हा फ्रॉम अ सायंटिफिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू, otherwise as we are always saying that you learn something out of box, I think this lecture is very, very useful for them. But in general, I will of course say it is also very good for the young people, because they are planning something for their life. They need to understand what type of food should they take, or what type of the way should they choose to have food. आणि मग त्यांना पुढचं प्लॅनिंग करायचंय, म्हणजे लाईफ लॉंग त्यांना या सगळ्या प्रोसेसमध्ये जर चांगलं राहायचं असेल तर सर हॅज टेकन अ व्हेरी गुड स्टेप की व्हॉट यू आर इटिंग ॲट द यंगर एज, that will going to reflect in your old age. So I think this message I am getting very sharp from his lecture, की हे यंग लोकांकरता फार महत्वाचं आहे. मे बी बिलो 30 काय आपण म्हणू शकतो आधीपासूनच असलं पाहिजे, पण ऍटलीस्ट जेव्हापासून चांगली समज येते तेव्हापासून की व्हॉट वी सपोज टू ईट, आय थिंक दिस पार्ट सपोज टू बी व्हेरी, व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट फ्रॉम से एज ऑफ 12 or 13, कारण की त्याच्यानंतर आपल्याला समजतंच की आपण कसं खाल्लं पाहिजे. आपल्या घरी पण चर्चा होत असते. मेनी थिंग्स आर रिअली रिलेटेड टू दिस, and therefore I feel that when we are talking about good health, good immune system, as well as we recently we are watching about all रिलेटेड थिंग्स अबाउट द स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन. सध्या आपल्या इंडिया खूप छान करते ऑलिम्पिकमध्ये. सो त्याची बॅक हिस्ट्री काय आहे? त्याची बॅक हिस्ट्री हीच आहे की आपल्याला चांगलं काहीतरी खायला मिळत राहिलं तर आपण तेवढी इम्युनिटी आणि स्ट्रेंथ आणि वॉट एव्हर इज needed. This is, I'm just giving an example of the sports, but it is general also. When if you are a researcher, if you are a good teacher, if you are an industrialist, whatever you name it, we will need that thing. From that point of view, I got it that sir has given a very good profile of understanding the food intake, and the scientific view has been given to all of us. Even some new things even I have also learned, that 3 things sir has, this was I heard so many things about immunity, but I was never aware about this, that the surface, innate and acquired. So these things are, maybe I heard, but I have not correlated in this way as you have suggested today. So I think this is really important. And from this background, म्हणजे मला एक असं वाटतं, स्टुडंट्स करता पण मी सांगते, तुमच्या घरी पण होत असेल, whatever the food culture, it has came from the outside. Like आपण म्हणतो की बाहेरच्या देशातनं हे जे वेगवेगळ्या प्रकाराचे ब्रेड्स आणि त्याचे ज्या बर्गर्स आणि हे सगळे जे आलेले आहेत, त्याच्यामध्ये आपण आपल्या टिपिकल फूडला, आता सरांनी एक छोट्याशा अशा भाजीचं नाव घेतलं जे बहुतेक आधीच्या सगळ्या जनरेशनला माहिती आहे, पण आताच्या जनरेशनला माहिती नाही आहे, आंबट चुका. पण जर आपण असं बघितलं तर आपली आई, आजी किंवा त्याच्या आधी आपले सुद्धा घरचे पण आणखीन इवन जेंट्स सुद्धा जे आहेत, मला आठवतं मामा काका सुद्धा या प्रोसेसमध्ये राहायचे. अँड दे वर अवेअर दॅट एव्हरी फ्रेश फ्रूट सपोज टू बी गिव्हन टू द फॅमिली मेंबर. हा एक प्रकारचा नियम होता. आता बिकॉज ऑफ द चेंज इन फूड हॅबिट्स and something coming from multinational corporations, very attractive food but zero nutrient, just त्याच्यामध्ये मैदा आणि हे सगळं जास्त आहे. So it is hampering our health situation. And आम्ही थोडासा वेगळा विषय होईल, but because I have studied on this subject, I would like to say that is nothing but like a production of a cold war from the western countries. हे थोडा वेगळा विषय, पण it is related. I think somewhere we have to correlate it in future. Maybe it's like a multidisciplinary approach again, I used to say always. So हा असा झालाय की बाहेरच्या देशांनी ज्या अशा फास्ट फूडला आणण्याचा प्रयत्न केला, त्याच्यानंतर असं जे पेप्सी फूड वगैरे आणले, that is slowly killer. They want to kill the young generation to some extent. आता हे काही लोकांना पटेल, काही लोकांना पटणार नाहीये, पण if you think properly, so it is the way to expose to our young generation. आणि याच्याकरता आपल्याला खूप लक्ष ठेवावं लागणार आहे. This may be like a different topic, but it is interrelated, and I think this is related to health education as well. Then many times we always say about the obesity and anemia, which sir has given a very structured way of thinking process to all of us. Obesity तर खरंच खूप वाढलेली आहे. I have seen such people की ज्यांना आता कोविड झालाय, त्याच्यानंतर फार कमी लोकांचं वजन कमी झालंय, जास्त लोकांचं वाढलंच आहे असं जास्त दिसतं. मे बी, पण त्याच्याकरता प्रॉपर चेक घेणं हे अत्यंत आवश्यक आहे. आणि मला असं वाटतं की आता जेव्हा आपण कोविडच्या बद्दल बोलतो आहोत, त्याच्या आधी मलेरिया किंवा असे जे काही चिकनगुनिया आणि असे जे काही आम्ही ऐकले आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये आय हर्ड फ्रॉम माय एल्डर्स, इवन फ्रॉम माय टीचर्स अँड मेनी पीपल, की थोडं खा पण सर्व खा. म्हणजे यू नीड नॉट टू हॅव अ व्हेरी, खूप भूक लागते तर खाऊन टाका, पण देन यू हॅव टू फेस अ प्रॉब्लेम. इवन द डिफरंट इश्यू इज रिलेटेड टू एनिमिया, which we had a project, sir, if you could have remembered that we in Gadchiroli, this was a big problem. तर हा जो प्रॉब्लेम आहे की तो खरंच आहे. अजूनही आय यूज टू टेल की 70-71, मे बी समवेअर इट इज 77% women स्पेशली, इवन द men are also suffering from anemia. Yes, so this is also the problem which has sir has given a very right word, hidden hunger. Means आपल्याला वाटतं तरी की आपल्याकडे काय काही तर मिळतंय, आपल्याला कार्बोहायड्रेट मिळतंय, शासन काहीतरी देऊन देत आहे, लोक खातात आहे, but what is properly needed for the body micronutrients that we are not getting. So असा जो प्रॉब्लेम आहे तो या काळामध्ये, आणि आपण कदाचित तो आधी लक्षच दिला गेला नाही, आणि त्याचा प्रॉब्लेम जो आहे तो खूप जास्त मुलांमध्ये दिसतोय. वी ऑलवेज यूज टू टेल when we are meeting in the surveys, different women and people, ki you are yourself not fit and you are producing a child, how that child can be healthy. So this is always a question before a woman as well as for the family members, कारण की तो मोठा होईल तर तो रोबस्ट ह्युमन बिंग कसा राहणार आहे, त्याचं ज्याला म्हणतात त्याची परवरिश, त्याची जी वाढ आहे तीच वीक आहे. And we always say like that, if the pillar is weak, the building will fall. See, it's the same thing will be applicable to the human being. की तुम्हाला ज्या बेसिक गोष्टीच नाही आहे तर हाऊ यू विल गोइंग टू हॅव दिस प्रॉब्लेम. आणि आता जी जगताप सरांनी विचारलं, दिस वॉज ऑल्सो अ क्वेश्चन टेकन बाय मेनी पीपल, की म्हणजे कोविड आहे म्हणून खूप सारं घेऊन टाकायचं आणि मग आधी काही घेतलं नाही आणि नंतर काही घ्यायचं नाही. इट्स ऑल मिसमॅच इज हॅपनिंग. सो प्रॉपर एज्युकेशन, दिस इज आय थिंक like from you are working with a body with Deshmukh sir and all that. So I think this is a continuous education we supposed to give all the people, not only to the young person. I said young person because they are the highest sufferers, but they need to understand. पण हे सगळ्यांकरता खूप खूप आवश्यक आहे. Then very one nice point about the economic losses you have said, की आपल्याला उपचार, आता याच्याकरता आमचं जरा लक्ष जातच इकॉनॉमिक लॉसेस म्हटले की, तर उपचार म्हटलं की ते 27 पटीने खर्च नंतर वाढतो. सो वी कॅन उलटा बोलले तो उलट जर म्हणायचं तर की 27 पट आपण वाचवू शकतो. सो दिस लॉजिक सपोज टू बी अंडरस्टूड व्हेरी वेल. In some of the places I have seen, especially in Japan, I should say, in some of the areas in Canada, where they are very much cautious about this, ki eat well, चांगलं खा, चांगलं एक्सरसाइज करा, चांगल्या प्रकारे झोप घ्या, असं जे त्यांच्या अनेक ऑफिसेस मध्ये पहिले ट्रेनिंग दिलं जातं. इट इज हायली मिसिंग इन अवर ऑफिसेस और इन अवर रुटीन फॅक्टर. आय थिंक मायक्रोबायोलॉजी कॅन प्ले अ वंडरफुल रोल by asking even government, you make like one thing which is very much useful for the officers, young staff. म्हणजे तुम्ही जे शिकताय कॉलेजेस मध्ये, वी कॅन अंडरस्टँड की तो एज असा असतो की मे बी यू हॅव लॉट ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन्स अँड यू हॅव टू स्टडी ऑल्सो, असू शकतं. दॅट इज व्हेरी नॅचरल. पण वन्स यू हॅव कम विथ द व्हेरी लाईक जबाबदारीच्या आपण कामावर जातो, देन दिस जबाबदारी शुड ऑल्सो कम, दॅट वी शुड नीड टू अंडरस्टँड किंवा हे आपल्याला कसं करायचं, बिकॉज गुड ह्युमन रिसोर्स वी नीड. अदरवाईज ऑलवेज वी सी की याला हा त्रास झाला, तो त्रास झाला. And one research we have done with the IGIRD, means that is Indira Gandhi Institute of Research and Development. तिथे तर एक असं झालं की साधं डायरिया जरी होतो बिकॉज ऑफ एनी रॉंग इनटेक, त्याच्यामध्ये आपले 6 दिवस मिनिमम घेतले आहे की 6 दिवस आपला मेंटल फिजिकल सगळ्या बाजूने आपला लॉस होतो, आपण काम करू शकत नाही. सो वर्क कल्चर सुद्धा बिघडतो. आणि जास्त तो प्रोलॉंग झाला तर 3 महिन्यापर्यंत ते IGIRDच्या एका रिसर्च मध्ये आमच्या निदर्शनास ते आम्ही आणून दिलेलं होतं. सो दीज आर ऑल रिलेटेड टू डिफरंट इश्यूज विच सर हॅज रेस्ड. And the thing is about the vitamins, which you have very well said, and the folic acid, all these are things which we need to understand. It is also generally in nature. काही सायंटिफिक गोष्टी तर अभ्यासाला आणि कामाला येतीलच आहे. पण हा जो B12चा मुद्दा आहे, याच्याकरता माझ्या डोक्यात सर एक नेहमी असं येतं की जेव्हा पूर्णपणे आपल्याही देशामध्ये किंवा अनेक देशांमध्ये सगळेजण व्हेजिटेरियनच होते, मग तेव्हा B12ची नव्हती का कमतरता होत, असं एक मला नेहमी वाटतं. पण तेव्हा काहीतरी, आता तुम्ही जे म्हणताय की जर प्रॉपर मीन्स प्रोबायोटिक फूड जर आपण
ऍक्च्युअली आपल्या इथे जो दही जो खाण्याचा जो हे आहे, दही आपण जे कंझ्युम करतो, अँड पर्टिक्युलरली इफ यू गो टू साऊथ इंडियन स्टेट्स, दे कंझ्युम स्पेसिफिकली कर्ड.
Yes.
And they use that दही भात हे त्यांचं फार हे आहे. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये एक सायंटिफिक हे असं आहे, इफ पीपल आर हिअर फ्रॉम सायंटिफिक बॅकग्राऊंड, पर्टिक्युलरली बायोकेमिस्ट्री, एक रिसर्च त्याच्यामध्ये हा आहे की दही भात खाल्ल्याने त्याच्यामध्ये एक अमिनो ऍसिड जे आहे, अमिनो ऍसिड दॅट इज ट्रिप्टोफॅन. नाउ दॅट ट्रिप्टोफॅन अमिनो ऍसिड सिंथेसिस, इट इज accelerated. And the tryptophan and amino acid, it is very much useful for your brain development. So that is what that is the type of research it has been given.
Yes.
And
So we have solutions. We have solutions,
Yeah.
but people are not using in a proper way.
Right.
एक हा पण आहे जो दुधाचाही प्रकार आहे की most of the now children are like intolerant ते आहेत, तर त्यांचं सुद्धा करता मला वाटतं this type of things are very
Exactly.
important. So these are the things, very normal things, but we need to understand, because we should have to have a good human resource in the country. From that point of view, also I'm putting this lecture on that ground, that until unless good health foundation is not there, we cannot think of a very good resource for the country. मग या सगळ्या गोष्टींमध्ये मला असं वाटतं की you have also talked about the vitamin D. That is really, I wonder many times that इतकं चांगलं सूर्यप्रकाश आपल्याकडे, you have given in your one of the slides, but त्याचाही उपयोग लोक करू शकत नाही. They are mostly waiting at the ACs and not thinking properly about how to. Otherwise जर आपण म्हणजे बाकी सगळं डाएट आपलं चांगलं असलं आणि आपण थोड्या वेळ जरी उन्हात बसलो, 20 मिनिटं किंवा 5 मिनिटं जरी बसलो, तर आय थिंक काही तर बॉडीला त्याचा फायदा होऊ शकेल. आणि हळूहळू जसं ब्रिसल बोन्स आणि हे सगळे जे प्रॉब्लेम्स त्याच्यामुळे येत आहे, ज्याला पोरस भोक वगैरे असं तयार होतात, आय थिंक दीज आर ऑल इंटरकनेक्टेड थिंग्स मे बी, बट ऑल द थिंग्स विच यू हॅव टोल्ड, दॅट इज ऑल्सो रिलेटेड टू अवर दी ancestral knowledge, because they used to say that all seasonal fruits and vegetables has to be taken well in a proper manner, in a planned way, in a proper quantity, I should say, so that can give a good qualitative effect. So these all things I think we have to keep on telling most of the people of our country, and we should not drive away because of some of the westernization which has given a wrong food habits. And that is I think the duty of any educational system to carry over this. That's why we have organized this program. And from my side, thank you very much, sir. And I hope it will be very useful for all my staff members as well as for the students. Thank you, sir.
If there is any query, you can direct to me. I think my email ID is with Dr. Jagtap, sir.
Yeah. So
my
with
WhatsApp
their ID, they can
also.
ask. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. And thank you, ma'am, for organizing such an important lecture to make us aware about nutritional immunology. And it will help us to work here efficiently during this pandemic situation. And now I request to Dr. Raut, sir, to propose vote of thanks.
थँक्यू मॅडम. नमस्कार. पुण्यश्लोक अहिल्यादेवी होळकर सोलापूर विद्यापीठाच्या आरोग्य विज्ञान संकुल व IQC यांच्या संयुक्त विद्यमाने आयोजित न्यूट्रिशनल इम्युनॉलॉजी अँड इट्स पॉसिबल रोल इन कोविड लाईक इन्फेक्शन या विशेष व्याख्यानाचे आयोजन करण्यात आलेले आहे. सर्वप्रथम मी आपल्या विद्यापीठाच्या आदरणीय कुलगुरू डॉक्टर फडणवीस मॅडम यांचे या ठिकाणी आभार मानतो, कारण मॅडमचा नेहमी असा आग्रह असतो की समाजोपयोगी व्याख्याने आपण आयोजित केली, आपल्या आधारे आयोजित केली जावे, आणि त्यासाठी मॅडम नेहमी मार्गदर्शन करत असतात. आणि मॅडमने दिलेले ह्या प्रोत्साहनासाठी मी मॅडमचे विशेष आभार मानतो. आजच्या कार्यक्रमासाठी प्रमुख वक्ते म्हणून लाभलेले डॉक्टर संजीव पाटणकर सर यांनी खूप सहजरित्या आणि सोप्या भाषेत न्यूट्रिशनल इम्युनॉलॉजी या विषयाची आम्हा सर्वांना माहिती दिली व तसेच आमचे निमंत्रण स्वीकारल्याबद्दल मी आदरणीय पाटणकर सरांचे या ठिकाणी विशेष आभार मानतो. या कार्यक्रमासाठी उपस्थित विद्यापीठाचे आदरणीय प्रकुलगुरू डॉक्टर DN मिश्रा सर व आदरणीय कुलसचिव डॉक्टर विकास गुटे सर या कार्यक्रमाच्या आयोजनासाठी केलेल्या मार्गदर्शनाबद्दल मी त्यांचे विशेष आभार मानतो. या कार्यक्रमाचे संयोजक डॉक्टर अभिजित जगताप सर, डॉक्टर विकास पाटील सर, तंत्र सहाय्य दिल्याबद्दल माझे सहकारी मित्र गार्डी सर व तसेच सूत्रसंचालक डॉक्टर विद्या लेंडवे मॅडम यांचेही मी या ठिकाणी विशेष आभार मानतो. या कार्यक्रमासाठी आभासी ऑनलाईन माध्यमातून हे सर्व कार्यक्रम पाहणारे आमचे सर्व व्ह्युअर्स यांचे मी या ठिकाणी मनापासून आभार मानतो आणि अध्यक्षांच्या पूर्व परवानगीने हा विशेष व्याख्यानाचा कार्यक्रम इथे संपन्न झाला असं जाहीर करतो. सर्वांचे पुन्हा एकदा विशेष आभार. धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद पाटणकर सर.
धन्यवाद.
छान वाटला. इट वॉज नाईस.
बिलकुल.
येस, व्हेरी. आज वी बिलोंग टू सायन्स फॅकल्टी and science fraternity, so it was nice revising. Yes.